Cardiovascular disease is by far the #1 killer worldwide. In 2016, the second biggest killer in the world, so cancer, killed half the amount of people that cardiovascular disease did. Many, including myself at one point, believe that having high cholesterol in part causes these heart issues. Today, however, I actively try and make my cholesterol levels as high as possible and have almost completely reversed my thoughts on how cholesterol affects the body. To understand why, we first need to ask ourselves, what is cholesterol? Cholesterol, to put it simply, is a type of fat and therefore a lipid. About 80% of cholesterol comes from the liver, and the other 20% comes from the food you eat, specifically animal products and not plant-based foods. Cholesterol is essentially a building block for your body. It's used to make testosterone, estrogen, vitamins, and even build our cellular membranes. The brain is the most cholesterol-rich organ in your body and contains almost 25% of the amount in your body. The brain needs it to function properly. I now need to talk about LDL and HDL. Cholesterol raises LDL and HDL in your body, so the higher the cholesterol you have in your body, the higher the LDL and HDL that you have. LDL and HDL are essentially buses that cholesterol rides in your body to go from one place to another, since cholesterol is a lipid that therefore can't travel through the blood by itself due to being water soluble. HDL is said by many to be the good cholesterol because it carries cholesterol to the liver to get processed. LDL, on the other hand, is said to be the bad cholesterol because it carries cholesterol from the liver to other cells that need cholesterol, for example, to repair and rebuild those cells. Some studies during the 20th century observed that where heart issues would take place, there would be cholesterol present. This led to the false conclusion that because cholesterol was consistently there at the time of the heart issue, it was therefore a cause of cardiovascular disease. Studies since then, however, have shown that cholesterol is actually released to repair and rebuild those cells, specifically through riding the bus of LDL, if you will. Despite this, cholesterol's reputation even today is still poor due to these false studies. There are no conclusive studies that cholesterol is the cause of cardiovascular disease. Yes, cholesterol is often found at the accident site, but like a firefighter at the scene of a fire, it isn't the actual cause of it, and instead repairs and rebuilds those cells, therefore is actually the protagonist. The main causes of cardiovascular disease are inflammation, oxidative stress, and insulin resistance. For this reason, studies have also shown that people with type 2 diabetes, people who have too much sugar for their insulin to handle, have glycation happen to their LDL, which, remember, LDL is the bus that transports cholesterol around the body to repair and rebuild cells. Glycation is when excess sugar meets with the LDL and deforms it, making the LDL unable to be consumed by the body, leading to LDL continuously going around the body with nowhere to stop. It's like a bus without a bus stop. Therefore, this sometimes leads to it hitting an artery wall and inflammation occurring. Inflammation occurs to fight the deformed LDL in the artery wall. This can clog the artery and, unfortunately, stop your heart. LDL was not the reason that this was caused. Type 2 diabetes was, and should be the problem being addressed. My point is that we need to stop looking at cholesterol as the bad guy in our body. Remember, it's an essential building block for our body to have. It's how we get testosterone, it's how we get estrogen, it's how we get vitamins, to build our cellular membranes. It's predominantly produced in the liver. Our own body produces it. If you really want to keep type 2 diabetes, sure, take a statin to lower your cholesterol. But just know cholesterol isn't the actual cause of cardiovascular disease whatsoever. No conclusive studies show that cholesterol causes cardiovascular disease. Hopefully I've clearly presented why in this case. Don't be afraid to have high cholesterol. It's actually essential to have healthy health. This is of course my 4th proper YouTube video, so if you have any support that you could be willing to give, feel free to give it. If you have any advice, feel free to once again give it if it's constructive and not trying to put me down. That's about it for the video. Yeah, any thoughts appreciated. Yeah, goodbye.